In this video, traders, we're going to look at why no losing days shouldn't be your main goal as a day trader. Stay tuned. Hey traders, very warm welcome to you. So, years ago, I went through a spell where I was very focused on having no losing days. I would go long streaks without having losing days, and I'd be very focused on doing that. And I stopped doing that, and actually it served me way better to focus on different things as opposed to not losing. Now, this is specifically for day traders, different for swing traders. Obviously, if you're holding stuff you don't really have control over in a one small down day, but for day traders, many very active, many trades during the day, you want to have no losing days. Now, why do you want that? Now, the reason I wanted that, because it felt nice not to have a losing day. It felt nice to just be putting money in the bank every single day. But in reality, you're leaving money on the table and you're not doing yourself good. It's not serving you to think like that. If you think that basically any trader's goal is to go from account equity balance there to an account equity balance there. Now, preferably, we'd like to go like this, wouldn't we? Whatever our number is here to whatever number is there. But in reality, it's kind of going to be like this, right? We're going to have little drawdowns, spells are doing nothing, bursts, but it's going to be a little bit more jagged than that. And that's kind of what we'd expect to happen. But we'd like to have it linear. But the downside we've got when we're looking at trading from a perspective of, hey, we shouldn't have a losing day, is that if we want to do this, we want to kind of go up, across, maybe up, up, just doing that. Ultimately, what we don't do is we don't allow ourselves to have these kind of really big monster days. Because why do we kind of negate these? Because there's a couple of things, guys. One thing is if we're framing our mindset to not lose, ultimately when we go into the day, we feel very vulnerable, right? We feel vulnerable, like, okay, well, I need to get some money in the bank. I need to put a couple of £100 in the bank on the first couple of trades so I can build on that and expand. And that puts you in a bit of a weak spot because you're not going aggressive straight off the bat. If you find the right sweet spot, you're not really hitting stuff hard based on the likelihood of it being in tune with your strategy, your mindset, and all these things that kind of gone together to gel together to give you the kind of perfect storm as a trader. You're trading from a perspective, well, I need to put something in the bank so that I've got a bit of a cushion so I don't have that losing day. And very often you're going to lose out because you think about in the middle of a trade, if we kind of go really granular now, you think you're in the middle of a trade and let's imagine this is your equity curve real time in the trade. And let's say here's your zero line here. Let's say you've made some profit, okay, and now the market starts to come back. Let's say this would just pretty much be the market, right? If you're long, the market starts to come back here. You might be more inclined to grab that small profit there than let it go into a loser because you don't want a losing day. You're framing your whole day around the losing day. Whereas in reality, a good trade, that might be just to kind of pause before the explosion up. Now, you don't know that, but if you're objectively looking at the trade from that perspective as opposed to, not losing, then it becomes a different framework for you. And the other thing as well, guys, is that if you imagine, let's say you're trading and you're kind of trading water, it's like those days, you just kind of make some money, lose some money, make some money, just sitting there, like can't really get any traction. You feel like you need a few winners and it just never comes, and you're kind of sitting there losing, losing money, making money and trading water. So if you're thinking, right, okay, well, I need to not lose, each trade becomes far more significant because if you lose, and let's say you're down a little bit on the day, you're going to then think, well, actually, I need to press the throttle to be up again because I don't have a losing day, which means that you're pressing on conditions that aren't really conducive. If you're spinning your wheels and the market conditions don't change from kind of the morning to the afternoon, and you're still spinning your wheels, you need to take a break. You need to step back and go, right, you know what? It's not for me. It's not working. I'm not in tune. Whatever reason may be, step out of it. But because you're going back and forth, you might think, well, I need to press it and get something because I don't have a losing day. And often that can cause us to trade unnecessarily. And the final thing, which is the biggest thing, which is why we don't get these kind of bursts up, is that very often we will be, kind of trading and doing well, and then we will be concerned about giving it back as opposed to pressing harder when the time's right. So kind of the opposite of what we just said a moment ago. So let's say, for example, you're up £800, $800. Okay, you're up on the day and you go, okay, you're right, oh, that's okay, I'm doing okay. And let's say that one trade could take you kind of below. Maybe let's say as you're up a little bit compared to how much you're risking. You might then go, well, I need to bank that winning day. I don't want a losing day. I need to bank that winning day. And that might be kind of the first couple of trades of the day. But in reality, it might be the best conditions for you. It might be the conditions where you should be pushing some more chips in. You should be kind of taking on some more risk to really try and get those extensions in the equity curve, because the day is the right type of environment for you. You're in the right kind of mindset. You're in the flow, you're in the groove, all those kind of things that we like. And you're not pressing the throttle because you're fearful of having that losing day, because that's where you're framing your whole success, if you like, from, as opposed to trying to get from here to here with minimal drawdown and looking to take advantage of these kind of spikes in equity that we've kind of talked about before in other videos, where, you know, when you're on form, you just press it and press it and press it, which gives you those spikes. If you're framing it around not wanting a losing day, you won't do that because you're concerned about having a loser. The next day you come into the day, instead of going in aggressive when you should be trading aggressive, i.e., hey, the conditions are right, everything's looking fantastic, it was yesterday, it's looking great today, I need to be aggressive straight off the open and be prepared to kind of lose a little bit because the week is looking good, the quarter's looking good. If you're framing it of, well, if I might have a losing day, I'm going to, you know, not be success, then it doesn't give you the opportunity to do that. So be cautious about that. I've made this mistake before. It never really suited me. It didn't work out well. Yes, you can have winning streaks, and you have, as a day trader, you can have lots of winning streaks and days that go on for a long time. It just seems like you're on form, but you're missing the bigger picture, and you're almost leaving a lot on the table because you're framing it in no losing days, as opposed to saying, well, if you're doing that well, that you're trading and you're making money net each day, why not get rid of that and just look to push the throttle down and really kind of maximize that equity curve, because you're in tune, because the market conditions are right, because your setup and strategies are working, and all those boxes are ticked. All right, guys, if you're day trading, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you next one. Bye-bye.